Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be doing a flip through of Right Shop. Today's a gorgeous day. We had a few days of rain and now it's cleared up and it's nice and sunny. It has cheered me up. I have my coffee here that is almost finished, which is really sad. But yeah, let's get into it. So I just released a video on all the curriculum that we chose for second grade. So this is one of them, Right Shop. And we are gonna start with book B. And so what it comes with is this teacher's guide and an activity pack that doesn't really come with a lot of activity sheets. I believe it's just about one per lesson, and there's 10 lessons in here. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start at the beginning. Here's a table of contents, but I'm just gonna go to the very beginning and just kind of go through the main parts of what is brought out in the introduction. So first off, they help you with how to choose a level. So for the primary books, they have book A, B, and C. They do recommend to start with A, just so that you and your child could get accustomed to how the book works. But I just went ahead and got with book B. Then it goes into planning your schedule. So this is pretty interesting. Basically, you can draw the lessons out into 3 weeks, a 3-week lesson plan. So one lesson you would complete in 3 weeks. Or you could do 2 weeks, get it done in 2 weeks, or you could get it done in 1 week. So the 3-week plan would probably be good for a first grader who is working above grade level. It could work also for a second grader or a third grader who is working below grade level or who learns with difficulty. This unhurried pace allows you to complete each lesson over 3 weeks with plenty of flexibility, reducing frustration and ensuring mastery. Okay, so this is how that would look. This is the schedule here. So week 1, week 2, week 3, and what they do basically is they work on something and then they take the next day off. They work on it again for Wednesday, then a day off, and then Friday. So it would be the 3 days out of the week that you'd be working on the project. And then they kind of tell you what you would be doing for each of those days. So they have this activity pack. So I'll just show the first one here. This is the activity sheet for the first lesson, and how it's designed is this front page would be the parent would be guiding their student and doing this page with them. And then the second page would be just for the student to do on their own. You would be doing the activity worksheet on the first day. Then on the second day, you would be doing a guided writing practice. So as I get into the book, I'll show what that is and the pre-writing activities. Then on the third day, you would be doing that guided writing practice again with some brainstorming. Then you would be doing optional. You could do the guided writing practice again, but then you could do the actual project. Then you do the editing and revising, more guided writing practice, the publishing, which is basically finishing up the project. And then this day, you would be evaluating their work. And if they want to do more, that's optional, they can do more. Then they get into what a 2-week plan would look like. This would be ideal for a second grader or a third grader with limited writing experience. Using this plan, you will do 1 lesson every 2 weeks, working 4 days per week. And so this is what that would look like. It's basically the same order. And then there's the 1-week lesson plan. It says a very fast pace for motivated third or fourth graders. This is what it would look like if you just did it in 1 week. So you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to look and compare it to what these other 2 look like. Just kind of compare the schedules. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and move on. And then there's materials and supplies. So this is interesting because there's quite a bit of materials and things because these are more of like writing projects. This is what they suggest for us to store and how to organize. So you can have a portable writing center where you have a large backpack and you have a tool organizer. So if you're on the move, you can have that. So you have all your supplies with you. Or a semi-permanent writing center where you keep everything in a bin. Okay, but what I'm trying to get to is what you need, the supplies you need. So here's some of the things you need. There's a manuscript alphabet chart, upper and lowercase letters, and post it near child's eye level. Chart paper or newsprint pad, This type of paper is used for the daily guided writing practice activity. Then the reference tools, you probably want a children's thesaurus and a children's dictionary. So this is what you would be putting in the bins. You'd be just having on hand some crayons, markers, pencils, and pens, rubber stamps, stickers, assorted paper, which would be grade level lined, unlined, construction paper, pattern paper, as well as novelty papers in a variety of themes, and correction tape. Yeah, so you see what we're getting ourselves into here. And then they want you to have a manila file folder for portable word banks. So you see how they're organized, like this one would say colors on it. This is what it would look like on the outside. And then when you open it up, there's a list of words that they can have on hand. So that's the writing tools. And then this is the publishing tools: glue, glue sticks, tape, scissors, stapler, hole punch, yarn scraps, construction paper or scrapbooking paper, old magazines, calendars, toy catalogs to cut and paste, additional materials as suggested in each lesson. Okay, they also suggest to have a pocket chart and sentence strips, but it's optional. A pocket chart is a sheet of sturdy fabric with clear plastic see-through pockets. It's a valuable tool for teaching reading, phonics, math, literature, and science. It says if you can't have one because of space restrictions or other reasons, that's fine. You can still do the occasional suggested pocket chart activities in the lessons. Simply write the words and phrases on lined paper and cut them into strips that you and your child can move around on a flat surface. And then there's a little bit of additional supplies that you can see on the appendix. Let's look at that since we're here. Okay, so there's pointers, a small file box, index cards, picture of a light bulb, construction or scrapbooking paper in gold or yellow. And then here are the lessons and all the material that you will need for each of these lessons. Some of these lessons have quite a bit of a list here of things you need. You can just look at all the things you may need for each lesson. Okay, so I want to stop right here and just give a little bit of my thoughts so far, especially because it was talking about all these lists of supplies that we might need for each lesson. I'm a very much not a big arts and craftsy type of person. I'm not big on projects and things like that. So already it's a little bit of a turnoff for me. I like things to be simple, and my son actually is very much a straightforward person as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this will work for us. This might end up being something wonderful that we might really enjoy doing, but I also want to bring out, using the first lesson as an example, of how I do plan to tailor this to meet our needs if need be. Maybe some of these will want to go all out and just use all the extra supplies to make these beautiful artistic projects. That might be something that we will end up doing and enjoying. But if you're like me and my son and you're not so much of a craftsy person and you just kind of want to get the gist of the lesson and then just kind of get that done and make sure they know and understand the concept, there's a way that we can always tailor things and still be able to benefit from the curriculum and not have to maybe change curriculums or anything. So I'm going to get into that. Okay, but now I'm going to continue here. Then it gets into, before you begin, to have a pointer, why that's beneficial, what kind of pointers you can use, long candy cane, fancy ruler, chopstick, glittered wand, giant pencil. So there's a lot of creative little ways to use that. And then the story ideas file box. This is the materials you'll need. Garden of rhyming words. So this is advanced prep. You have a 3-ring binder, and then you have these flowers where you would have a petal. In each petal, you would have the rhyming words. There's a list of words to rhyme for each page. Let's get into lesson 1, writing a letter, just as an example of what to expect and how this kind of flows. So they lay everything out from the beginning, what to expect, the objectives, what your child will learn. They're gonna learn the 4 parts of a friendly letter. They're gonna learn the concept of paragraph form. They're gonna write a personal narrative, describe an imaginary trip, write a friendly letter. So there's a lot of good things that they will learn. This is the advanced prep that for us parents to have ready and on hand. The rhyming notebook, the pointer and postcards, and the activity set. Here are some more materials needed when we do the activity set worksheet: some pencils, crayons, markers. Guided writing practice, you'll need the pointer, a tablet or chart paper, and markers. For the pre-writing activities, you'll need that rhyming notebook again, some construction or scrapbooking paper in a variety of colors, white computer or copy paper, scissors, hole punch, markers, glue, picture book about a child's or animal's vacation trip, 12 scenic postcards, or make your own. See, already that's so much stuff. I'm trying to make this just a flip through video without my constant opinion on it yet, but that's just what I'm thinking as I'm going through this. This is a lot of materials. It's a lot of arts and craftsy type of stuff in here. So brainstorming, tablet or chart paper and markers, or the story ideas file box. Then for the writing project, the grade level writing paper, pencils, crayons, or markers. For the editing and revising, several small stuffed animals, action figures, or dolls. Publishing the project, colorful stationery or specialty paper, matching envelope or plain business-sized envelope, postage stamp, pencils, crayons, or markers. And if you want to do more, here's the materials you would need. Planning your schedule. This is a quick overview of how that would look like for each week and each day. Okay. This is what you would do for the first day. Activity set 1, lesson overview. This is the activity sheet, and they kind of walk you through what you would be doing with them, what you want to bring out in the activity sheet with the student, and then the back side, what they would be doing. This is the pre-writing activity that you'd be doing also on the first day. Here's the advanced prep that you would have had to have ready, the rhyming words notebook. Here's a good idea, parents say, instead of flowers, you could make a turkey and then use feathers on the outside. Okay, so for the second day, this is the overview of the writing process. This is the advanced prep, things you want to have ready. The guided writing practice. This is how the guided writing practice works. Just explaining how and why you as the parent will be doing most of the work here. Just showing your child through example. And then guided writing practice directions. So they just walk you through as a parent how to guide your student and how to show them through your example of what to write. They basically tell you how to write a letter, and you're doing that for your student. And that's what all that is. They even give you a sample letter, and then they even give you some questions that you can ask your child so that they can give you some of their ideas, so that they're helping you through writing the letter. And then you're going to use that pointer to read sentences together. You're going to point out punctuation. You're going to point out the indented first sentence. And you'll just point all these things out to them. And you can even give your child the pointer and have them point to you these things. Here's the pre-writing activity. Again, the advanced prep, something that you as a parent want to already have on hand. In this case, for this project, you're going to want a dozen postcards. Sorry. It's just a lot, in my opinion. It's a lot. Or you can make your own, which to make a dozen of your own, that seems like a lot of work. That's just me. Okay, so this is the pre-writing activity. You're gonna have a picture book about a child's or animal's trip. This is a cute little thing to help your child remember what is needed in a letter. They call it a boogie, or like a dance move, I guess, where you move your head and then you move your hands, your body, and your foot, just to kind of connect those things to the top of the letter, to the bottom, the ending of the letter. And then the postcards. You're gonna show your child a postcard, pretend that they went on a trip, and then you can ask them, what would you write on this postcard to tell your grandma about what you did on vacation? Share the other postcards, repeating the activity. There's no writing, it's just a verbal exercise to give your child practice using her own words in a letter. Here's another guided writing practice. You're gonna be pretty much writing and recapping the letter. So you're gonna show them again. These are the things that you need to do to write the letter. Here's another sample letter for you as a parent, and then you'll be asking them more questions. Actually, this is something that you can ask for the book that was read the other day. Okay, using the pointer again to identify these things. So here is a little bit more of like repetition on this day. Then you'll be brainstorming. You're gonna narrow in on a topic. This is how you can organize the brainstorming, folding a paper into 4 equal spaces, and then having them write down 4 experiences that they'll wanna write about, 1 topic in each space. And then in the middle, where it kind of crosses there, you'll draw a circle and put the topic right here. In the center, write a topic. On each of the lines, list information that supports the topic. Okay, so now this is the next day, more guided writing practice. This is the writing project. So this is where your child will actually start writing the letter. You can still guide them. If they need smaller steps in between, these are things that you can do to help them writing the letter. Or if they need extra things to do, there's different letters, different kinds of letters you can write. There's a thank you letter, persuasive letter, or letters to a pen pal. Here's another day, the guided writing practice. Continue to teach the format, following the format introduced. And here's an example. Using that pointer again to point at those things. So just again, more repetition, editing and revising. Here's some advanced prep. It says you can have editing buddies to help them enjoy the editing process. This can include stuffed animals, action figures, or dolls. Okay. And then this is directions for you on how you and your child can edit the letter together. Here is the next day, guided writing practice. Continue to practice writing a friendly letter, following the instructions and guidelines. When finished, do the pointer activity. So same thing again. Activity set worksheet. If your child did not write a friendly letter on the back of the worksheet during activity set, have her do this today. Repetition again, just doing the same thing. Here's where they will actually publish the project, and they're gonna actually mail their letter. So it says this is where you can use those colorful stationery and specialty paper. Have her copy her letter on paper of choice, put it in an envelope, address it, have them place the stamp, and then go ahead and mail it at the post office. And then the next page, repetition here. Evaluating the student's work. So this is you as a parent, what you would be doing. And then here's the want to do more. It's extra things they can do. Make a family mailbox. And then you guys can send each other letters. Could decorate it. So, and then here's also the computer capers. You can teach them how to write an email. So another extra thing. Then it gets into lesson 2. So basically the gist of this whole lesson was there was a lot of repetition. For the guided practice, you would be writing the letter out, pointing out the certain things that make up the letter by using the pointer. And then little by little, you'd be having them do a little bit of practice, and then the editing and revising, and then the final publishing. And then you can always enhance it with all the arts and crafty stuff. So this is what my opinions are. I think there's so many good things about this. I think some of the things are just a little too extra. Like even this rhyming thing. I think my son is good at rhyming. We could just on the spot, think, okay, what rhymes with cot? And he can just think of a lot of words on the spot of what can rhyme with cot. And we can just do that together as a fun little, 20-second activity. And if I see that there is a need for anything, of course, I'll adjust. And I can make this if I see it's necessary. The pointer. Do I feel like it's very necessary to have a pointer versus just using your pointer finger? I'm not sure about that yet. Right now, I feel like it is a little extra. I don't think my son, if he's not going to feel like special if he has a pointer and pointing out things. I could be wrong, but maybe I could try it and see how he reacts to it. But so far, I don't think it's so necessary to have a pointer. It's cute. It's a cute idea, but I think he's a little bit too much of a boy for that. I don't know. He's just too straightforward, I guess. All right, another thing. There was a lot of repetition, so that's another thing. That could be great. And if I see that he's getting it and he doesn't need more of that guided practice, where I have to write out the letter and keep asking him over and over, you know, what is needed, then I might just skip those. I might just do a guided writing practice twice tops. And then, because I think they had him do it like 4 or 5 times, if I'm not mistaken, which if it's necessary, then of course, go for it. They had him do the guided writing practice 6 times, if I counted correctly. So I'm actually thinking 2 times might work depending on the lesson. Also, I might do more. There's my opinion on that. How long do I think this will last, this lesson? Will it last 3 weeks? I definitely don't think it's going to last 3 weeks. I don't think it's going to last that long. I'm trying to think how long I think we can complete this first lesson. Would it take 2 weeks? Maybe, but I'm going to test it out, of course, when the time gets there for next year. I'm thinking that it's just going to depend on the project, and I'm going to aim for a week, but if it carries on to the next week or close to 2 weeks, then that's fine, and there you go. That's kind of how that will work. But yeah, I'll see about that. I definitely don't think it's going to take 3 weeks. That seems a little long. I think I'm just realizing, like, similar to the elemental science, there's a lot of options that they give you, and then you can just pick and choose what is best for you and your child and what you want to choose to do. I think that's what I'm realizing, and I always appreciate that about curriculum. You might think like, oh, this is just too overwhelming, they have too much stuff, but you don't have to do it all. And I like how there might be something that you can pick and choose that suits your child's interests. You know, if your child loves to read, you can read that picture book that gets them thinking about the animals and the trip. If they're very active and wiggly, you can have them do this letter boogie, which can remind them how to write a letter through movement. It's a really creative way to kind of like get your child to remember in an active way. And then the postcards, it's a creative activity, you know, to get them to get those ideas. I think that's great when they do that, when curriculums do that. They just provide a lot that you can pick and choose from. So I love that, actually. I really love that. And if all of the lessons are that way, I think that this is going to be great, because the point is to just get them to learn, right? Whatever way they learn best. And so they provide those different options for you to choose from that will fit the needs of your child. And then again, like with the guided writing practice, it was very repetitive. Repetition obviously is so good for children, for everyone, when they want to learn something and master something. So that's great too. It's just that if you don't need it, then you can stop and you can move on to the next thing. So you don't have to do exactly how they tell you to. This is just all there for you as the parent to decide how you want to do it. So I think with that being said, overall, I think this is actually really great. I just love the idea of being given lots of things, lots of options to choose from. I love that, because I am not the most creative person myself to where I can add to curriculum. Like if curriculum just has real simply like, oh, this is how you write a letter, just show them this format, show your child this format and have them repeat it themselves. Me and my son could totally do that and then we'd be done. However, I like that because I'm not going to add to that. I'm not going to think up my own additional like creative activities adding on to that. So I think this is nice that they provide those extra fun activities so that if you want to incorporate them, like in my case, I can totally do that and just make it more fun and make it more creative when it comes to the actual learning part. So that is my thoughts so far on this. I'm actually really looking forward to using it because of that. And I think that if I can go ahead and use like the arts and crafts or colorful things, the projects will come out looking really nice and will end up being something that I would want to keep and treasure for time to come. And yeah, I will definitely keep an update on how this works when we do start using it for next year. Maybe a mid-year update and a review of how this is going for us. But I hope that that was helpful, just going through this with you, just like an initial flip through and an initial review of how it seems so far. Tell me what you think in the comments of how this curriculum seems like to you. Does it seem like too much? Does it seem like it would be something really fun? And yeah, let me know your opinion. How would your child do with something like this? And it's funny, I started out this video saying how beautiful of a day it was and that it was sunny and it had stopped raining, and now it started raining again. I'm just gonna show. It's even a little breezy, and I don't know if you can see the rain. It might actually be snow, you guys. Yep, I think it's snow that's melting on the ground. Can you see? That is snow, but it melts. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's some snow right here. Yep, it's snowing. Thank you for watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.